Join the movement. Go all electric with Pure Electric.
How do you choose sustainability?
Why not?
I think I love that answer.
I think everyone should.
Yeah.
Why would you not try and reduce, power consumption, excess consumption of every sort? Fossil fuels, when you don't need to be so consumptive, you just don't need to. Smart design. We were fortunate we had the right block with the lovely northern aspect. That was something we considered. We were both passionate about. We found out about that. We had a discussion, and we were both really interested.
Yeah.
So
we were both looking up articles on solar passive design separately to each other, and then we somehow realised that we were.
And we thought, well, we're both interested. Your father was a big guide as well. He was an impetus for that. He really took it, the amount of the trees, and really good at that sort of stuff. Environmentally, he was awesome. And so it was a no-brainer for us. It was great.
Wow.
So
we've been here for 8 years now, and it took us 2.5 years to do the building process and everything. And then so obviously we must have started looking about 12 years ago, basically. Yep. Well, we were quite lucky because we had gone through, maybe even 15 or 16 years ago, had gone through the Mandurah Sustainable House, so we're aware of all those principles. When we came back, we did our due diligence and looked at some builders and asked them about what they can do solar passively. And unfortunately, we were met with things like, oh, well, if you close this door and close this door, you only have to air condition one room at a time, which was completely not what we were interested in at all. So luckily, again, we found you and we got it done right the first time. So yeah, it's been wonderful. Well, initially when we bought this block, it had an old house on it, and unfortunately the old house was orientated completely wrong, and it was full of skylights, very dark and very cold, and had no aspect at all. None of the rooms had a view, and it was quite dim. And we realised for this block, if we actually switch the house around 90 degrees, it would be absolutely perfect for solar passive houses.
So you've got a passive solar home oriented correctly. The right depth, you've got the right amount of floor mass, the right amount of wall mass, because both need to work together. You've got the right amount of sun, so therefore you've got a certain amount of sun coming in to heat the floor, and then also heat the walls through a short wavelength onto the floor and a darker tile to absorb the heat, and then to release it as long wavelength, which goes into the walls and absorbs into the walls, then convective heat rising up, being absorbed into the top of the walls. And then you've got all the windows oriented in such a way, and the doors on the opposite side of the windows, so they work with each other, the air coming in, air going out to cool it in summer. And that's where vertical mass is critical. You've got insulated walls, you've got insulated ceiling, you've got insulated roof, not just the ceiling.
As well.
So all of those things, so that side of things.
Shading.
The shading, the deciduous creepers, which look fantastic.
Mine's are good, aren't they?
Yeah, they really look great.
And productive.
Some deciduous trees, Gladitsia, I think. Probably a sunburst by the look of things.
Tricanthos.
Okay. So get the right Gladitsia, because if you don't, you could end up with a monster, but they're a fantastic tree.
That's the non-invasive, not the monster.
Very good.
I researched that closely. Because I thought, one choice. Don't get it wrong.
No, terrible to pull a tree out. So as well as that, you've got the drapes in the pelmets, which minimise the heat coming in summer and maximise the heat retention in winter.
And then we've got minimal east and west windows as well, so we don't heat the house up in the morning or the afternoon.
Absolutely.
And you've also got the wet areas, the bathroom, and the laundry facing north to minimise any mould or mildew coming in.
So we don't have any mould or mildew in those rooms, and plus they're warm and bright, so we don't need lights when we're using the bathrooms during the day, and it keeps them very dry as well. Yeah.
And on the roof, you've got 1.5 kilowatts of PV.
Yep.
You've got a solar hot water system.
Yep.
And that electrically boost, is it?
Electric, it's an instant gas boost.
Instant
on
gas
that one.
boost on that.
Yeah,
right.
on that, the Renault.
The rainwater
Rainwater
tank.
plumb to the toilets and the laundry washing machine.
Yep.
So enjoy that. That's great.
So you've done everything, and the house looks like a normal home
Yep, it does.
for normal
Yeah.
people.
It
Yeah.
functions really well.
It does.
We
It's
enjoy
not-
it. It's great.
It's not
Kids love it.
scary. So, it's just where the house just looks exactly like a normal house,
Yep.
normal features and things inside, but it's just designed in the right way.
Yep.
So I think for saleability, it doesn't look scary. It just looks like a regular house.
Very easy.
So it's just
Super
really
easy.
just to do with the curtains.
Yeah.
So in the winter, in the morning when the sun's out, we open the drapes to the low angled winter sun comes in and warms up our grey floor tiles, which is our thermal mass. And that works very well. So you can walk down that side of the house, you can actually feel the heat radiating off, and it's warm to touch. And then as the sun goes down in the evening, we close all the curtains, so that keeps all the heat in that we've harvested during the day.
Yep.
And then in summer, it's the reverse. So basically, it's all about keeping the house cool in summer by not letting the summer sun in. And obviously the grapevines help us with that as well,
Amazing.
but curtains, and then but letting the winter sun in. It's that simple.
And in the breezes when this
Yeah,
the
breezes
doctor
when-
comes in and let it come. It's fantastic.
So easy to live in.
Yeah,
Lovely.
lovely.
So
The
what
sun
would-
comes in about 4 metres into the house.
Gorgeous.
So you can sit on the couches, us or the cat, and you're bathed in sunlight.
Lucky cat.
But you don't have all the wind and rain that's outside, just the sunshine. So
Yep.
yeah, we're kind of immune to winter in this house. Doesn't bother us at all.
Love it.
So our brief for the garden was basically we wanted it to be a nurturing garden for us. We wanted it to be a permaculture garden. We wanted it to provide food. So we have about 80 to 90 different edibles. Could be more at the moment, who knows. There's also chickens, compost, worm farms, so they all work together. We compost a lot of our scraps. We do share waste with the neighbours. We collect our eggs. We harvest our rainwater, which we can use for the pool or the garden. A lot of the materials that you might have seen on the tour are repurposed and recycled, say from landfill, including the fire pits, the stones, arbor, even the wine barrels, a lot of the rusty edging, the logs that we're sitting on. At the rusty bed springs, there's just so much once you have a little look around. So it's amazing. You can do a lot for your garden without actually having to spend a lot if you're happy to look around. Yeah, that came in on budget. I don't think building solar passive cost us anything more really, because mainly it's about orientation, shading, insulation, ventilation, all those kinds of things, and looking at your thermal mass. So, and in the end, it actually saves you money because we have very minimal power bills attributed to any electricity or cooling. That's just not an issue for us. So, and I don't think it costs any more at all.
So
Look into it. You've got absolutely nothing to lose but everything to gain.
Absolutely.
thank you.
You're almost
Pleasure.
That's great.